Little crawler, little creepy crawler.
So I just do like crawl.
So what do? Just keep Facebook on? Like
Yeah,
I'd be holding my phone?
No, just leave it open. And turn the volume down so we're not getting the sound.
And then what do you see?
You'll just, the live, like you're watching somebody's live feed.
Okay,
So that's kind of
just
what it's looking like
hit
on.
that?
No,
How do you join?
not yet. It's going to be, once I hit the go live button, when Chris tells me I can hit the go live, that's what it's going to be like. And then I'm just going to kick it over to her, quick, share it.
Yeah, you can.
Share it too. Or actually, I'm about to go live, so go to my page.
It's on the XStream too.
Is it? Okay, so Rachel Trevino. Okay, so once I go live, just share.
They won't be able to view it if you share it.
Yeah. Well, yes, we're friends. That's fine.
So what do I do?
Once I hit the go live, you're just going to stay on this page, and then you're going to share it. You're going to pull it and just hit the share button. Which page of yours gets more traction? We get.
They both, probably the Liquor Fest.
Does it?
Yeah, because we're constantly been advertising on it.
Okay.
My personal page is just my friends.
Okay. I thought you have a public figure page.
I do have that too.
Yeah, that one I thought would be a good one. If you want to. If you want to.
I want to see you all.
Please go sit down.
Fine.
I'm ready when you are, Chris.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna go live. Can you give me a camera angle first again? Let's just check my hair.
You're already live.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Now you should see that.
I don't see it.
Okay, there it is. Greetings again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rachel from XStream. We are live at MOAD, and we have another fantastic interview. I love what we get to do here on the XStream side of things, and even on the MOAD side of things. We get to talk to really awesome entrepreneurs. I like to call them badass entrepreneurs, but we like to keep it a little PG rated around here, because we never know who's listening. Today, part of the topic for today on the business side of things is the work-life balance and how you manage time, how you get to be somebody. There are tools and there's tricks and tips, say that 5 times fast, for how you become somebody that manages their time very, very, very effectively. And it's that old adage is, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person to do it. I think we're in a culture where people love to say that they're busy, and that can be kind of costly. It's one thing to be busy, it's another thing to be productive. And so we're always kind of trying to assess and talk about those skill sets and the topics of how you get to be extreme. And so I'm going to get ready to introduce Jennifer Gabriel. She is Jennifer Gabriel Barbaro, married to King Sal Barbaro right now, our reigning Ray Feo. Sal is a very prominent, one of the most prominent cardiologists in San Antonio, Texas. Jennifer, of course, is heiress of the Gabriel's empire, co-owner to the liquor and beer. I believe we'll talk to Jennifer, but I believe it's over 50 stores that they have. So from the presence of what Gabriel's does in the San Antonio community and abroad, they are a household name here. So allow me the pleasure to introduce Jennifer Gabriel. Good to have you. Hello. It's always awesome to see you. We've got fun stuff happening.
I know, lots of crazy fun stuff.
So tell everybody give anything Ray Feo updates as far as the event coming up on the 28th.
Okay, well, before, we were talking a little bit about this, before the 28th, which is the Liquor, Beer, and Wine Festival, which Ray Feo Scholarship does for 5 years now. This will be the 5th one, so it's been an annual event. It's fun. But we have an announcement this week, and you're hearing it first right here before any media, because the press conference is this week, River Parade for Mexican Independence Day. So Ray Feo Scholarship is going to put on this beautiful river parade full of superheroes and different characters and villains, and it's going to be quite an astounding parade, and it's going to be done since the 16th falls on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Mexican, it's going to be Sunday the 14th, and right here on the Riverwalk.
So 16, September 16th is
It's
Mexican.
to honor Mexican Independence Day.
Okay.
But that's during the week. So we're going to do it the Sunday
You know,
before.
San Antonians like to party on a Tuesday.
I know. I don't know how many other people we get. You know, maybe a few of the tourists will pull in.
Right. So Sunday, what time does the parade kick off?
That's a very good question. We'll be announcing that
At the press release.
at the press conference on Thursday. So then everybody will know.
And is there a cost for people to attend?
This first year is going to be outstanding because it's going to be a free parade.
Free parade.
Yes.
Candy and all.
I don't know about the candy.
Come on, is it a free? Only apropos that you would maybe give some free beer away, considering we're on the
all
hills
you
of.
have to do is go down to the Riverwalk. I mean, if you have access to
Yeah.
the Riverwalk, then you're going to catch this, and it'll be a fun event for the family on Sunday.
So, who do you think is? Oh, so I get that you were going to have kind of action heroes and superheroes and women, a Wonder Woman type theme stuff going on. Is it like is floats? How does somebody get to exhibit themselves in this parade?
Well, if anybody, so that's true. If anybody, companies out there want to sponsor or have their own float, they can definitely do so. I mean, it's just like the holiday parade we have here in the city or the Fiesta parade that's in the city as well. If you've participated in that as a company and you like to get that kind of exposure, this is the same thing. You can apply to have your own floats.
Perfect.
And of course, the powers that be that are organizing this parade will decorate it according to whatever theme is going on. But you get to promote your business.
So, do you have the Wonder Woman one float? Monopolize?
Yeah, we were talking about that. No, I don't have the Wonder Woman float yet. Yeah, maybe
you make a perfect Wonder Woman.
I might be out there.
There you go.
Who knows? If I get the right costume.
We'll do Catwoman and Wonder Woman at the same time.
Are we going to have an extreme float?
We should.
Yeah.
We should. We'll go live. We'll go live during the parade. So cool. Let's say hi to some of our guests. We've got, hey, Chris just joined us. Jamie, Guy, Rob, Enver up there in Dallas. We've got David up in Michigan. Kim, hey, Daniel.
Wow.
Yes, we get some coast-to-coast action here. Again, you guys, today's giveaway is 2 tickets to the world's largest liquor, beer, and whiskey fest, and we're going to kind of cover details about what happens at this mega event, only thing in the world of its kind, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Only event in the world. They try and do one up in New York on the East Coast, and it pales in comparison to what happens here.
It really does. We kind of try to model it after our convention that we have as retailers. So the consumer's really getting a prize because they get to come as a consumer and experience kind of what us retailers do during our package store convention for Texas. So we sample all these different products and we learn about them. So you're just not coming for the party. It is a lot of fun, but you're going to learn about all these different brands, how they're made, if you want to, what they taste like, why they taste like they taste, experience different other marketing ideas from different brands, where it's available, where it's not available, what it goes well with, what it doesn't go well with. And then I say we should this year probably take the logo and put a big slash through it because it should be the Foodie Fest as well.
Right.
We have like 50 restaurants that are there, and you are not going to be starving when you come to this event because, I mean, we have the VIP area alone, which is in San Antonio. We have Wild Fish, one of our top restaurants in Asinine.
Shout out to Chris Madera over there at
Yeah,
Eddie V's now, right?
Eddie V's. And they always snap up the VIP section. But then on top of that, just out everywhere, we have Morton's, we have Fleming's, we have all the top steakhouses, Chamagaucha, J Prime, and everyone else in between.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, this event, and right now it's insane. The tickets are $60
Right now.
right now. So there's a link right there. You can get that there. You can also go to the website. And if you're a restaurant in San Antonio, if you you do some sort of brewing, if you do some sort of distilling, if you have some sort of alcoholic beverage that you want to get showcased, this is prime time. It gets no bigger. You cannot go anywhere in the world.
Goes up. Oh, I forgot the date, but soon.
September 20. Oh,
Right. The ticket price goes
Okay,
up because,
okay.
and then at the door it's $100. So you don't want to wait to get your tickets at the door. Might as well get it now for $60. It's one price to get all the beverages you
All
want
the
to
food.
drink, all the food you want to eat.
Yeah.
Gaming. We have casino games and prizes and different other interactive stuff going on there. You don't have to spend another $1. Where else can you go for
that.
drinks and food all night long?
well, that's what. So if you take a look at in the VIP room alone, in the VIP, how much are tickets to VIP right now?
Those are $150.
Okay. if you look at the VIP room alone, if you look at the collective value of all the bottles, so they take all these mega, very expensive bottles and they put them in the VIP room. And one bottle alone, if I was to go out to a restaurant or bar and get a shot of it, would be $60 to $100.
Yep.
And so you got almost $20,000 of bottles, the worth of the bottles in the VIP room, and you can taste as many as you want, and it's $150 and all the food. All the food. So just that alone, $20,000. I mean, you may not ever in your life get the chance to sample some of these things, and you might not ever want to. But considering this is all for charity, and that's the fun part about this. Like, we might be partying like rock stars, but we're doing it all for a good cause and a purpose. And so we'll cover. We're gonna talk about that.
You get to have a good time and help kids out at the same time.
Yeah. What could be better? What could be better? So, helping kids out at the same time. The Gabriels. You guys kicked off Ray Feo how many years ago?
We did not kick it off. This organization has existed for many, many years. We've been involved since the early 80s. My father actually got involved in the early 80s, and he has been Ray Feo twice.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that twice.
Well, I think there was some hiccup one year and he had to step in and do it again, and he was like, sure, I'll do it. And then my brother has been Ray Feo. I've had a niece that has been the Feria Queen, and my own daughter has been the Feria Queen as well, which is an interesting program to the Ray Feo Foundation that not many people know about. I'll talk about that a little bit, because your money is also helping this parent-child program.
Okay.
So what the Queens raise money for is, let's just say you hadn't finished school. We give you money to finish college. And if you finish, we guarantee your child a scholarship as well when they reach the age of 18.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
That's insane.
So that's the parent-child program.
Wow, and that's what the Queens
Raise money for. The Feria Queen.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think there's some. I don't really know that there's a understanding of what the Queen's role is. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so you guys, your dad has done it twice. Your husband right now, Sal. Shout out to Sal. Is Sal watching? Sal, where are you? I don't see you on this live. But Sal has got it like a very.
Should we tell him go online, go live, go online?
Right.
I can text him and he'll be like, "What?
There you go.
This is why I'm not
911.
answering your phone call, honey."
Right. He might be in surgery, but aside from that, he should be definitely watching this live.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is the fun of live.
Let's see how quickly you get a
right?
response.
Where do I have to go to?
Because I want to talk about that. I mean, we have a lot of people that, that watch Extreme because I talk to extreme entrepreneurs, right? I've been talking to extreme businesses for my whole life. But Sal manages, or he runs his practice, his cardiology. Again, one of the best cardiologists in Texas, and we talked about this last year. Yes, he's kind of on the cutting edge of some awesome technology that's happening out there. So, y'all been married for how long now?
It'll be almost 10 years.
10 years. So, talk about as a woman, what balance in your marriage and balance in your profession, how do you balance that, and what advice do you give to wives?
Wow, that's a huge question. Lots of help. No, I'm just kidding. You do need lots of help, especially collectively. We have 7 kids, and that being said, a lot of our older kids are older and gone. Our youngest is going on 8 years old. She's over there on the side.
Oh, she's a sweetheart too. Y'all are missing. We should have her on the live.
Yeah,
really.
she comes with me.
She's cuter than us
because she hasn't started school yet. And then everything in between. So it's hard to balance, but you also want to set an example. I know for myself, I value my children. So I put them first with everything. Like if any one of them called right now, I would answer the phone. That's just my philosophy. Everyone has a different parenting philosophy. And I stayed home with my older 3 for a while, and then I went back slowly into the workforce. And it was very hard to do because, like yourself, I'm in television as well. So that's what I wanted to get back into. That's a very hard market to get back into. But it's the one that I love besides my family business.
Sure.
So you just throw yourself out there. And when you're scared to do something, and this is probably what I want to tell most women, when you're scared to do something, it's probably when you should do it the most. When you have that inner battle, like, I don't know, should I do this? I'm nervous. Am I good enough? Am I going to fail? Go fail. Go fail. Who cares what everybody says?
Yeah.
And
Better to be consumed by the failure and then the regret
go
of
fail, learn, fail again, learn, keep getting up and doing it again and again, because it doesn't matter now, especially with all the social media that we have, Facebook, Instagram, what else is out there? Snapchat, I don't know. Whoever's going to talk is going to talk. But trust me, but if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then it's all going to go away later.
How do you think you honed that inner voice to know that TV was your calling?
Well, as I wouldn't say do what makes you happy, because a lot of things that make you happy probably you shouldn't be doing.
That's another conversation on our X-rated channel.
Another conversation. But your inner joy, I guess, that thing that brings the best out in you. So, like, why are you doing this? Why did you choose to? You find joy in this, don't you?
I'm a nerd. I'm consumed with the economy and, the mind. I think, you learn that there are skill sets. And that's the premise of Extreme, right? And even what we do when we're talking to Ray Feo and these people, that people get to be really good in life because there's a formula. There's a formula, and that's what we're talking to you about today as a woman. I think you're one of the first women I've had on Extreme.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we went strong. Well, a couple months, but there's a formula for it, and that formula always comes with failure. And that's the one thing I would say. There was, when I was working for Tony Robbins, it was a $2 million mark that I noticed. I would get people calling off CNN, CNBC, Fox News, the major satellite radio networks, and I would find out in the first 2 minutes, I would know how much money their company made, what their biggest problem was, and how we were going to solve it. And so I learned that at about $1 to $2 million of revenue, they probably lost it at some point in time. That tends to be, after you interview thousands and thousands of people.
That's what nobody ever talks about. They really, you see somebody and you think, oh, they're an instant success. And you don't see the journey it took them to get there, because there's definitely a journey for everybody.
Yeah.
And it isn't always like the movies, like, oh, you just got up and everything's perfect.
Everything's perfect. And so that's what we do at Extreme. With Extreme is, we're telling that story because, I think people think that there's so much consumption with the Kardashians right now, and finally Kim Kardashian's doing something, pretty noble. Have you seen her endeavor to get prisoners who've been either wrongfully tried or jailed out? But aside from that, I think we're consumed with the wrong things, not because we want to be, but because no one's telling the story of. I don't see it. Yeah, how they got there, and that's reality TV to me.
And Kim Kardashian's a good example. It kind of coincides with the message, like my husband told kids in school. And before everybody goes off on that, let me tell you why. Because not everyone's happy of how she got where she got. Right? She's very wealthy now, but what she's doing with that wealth now is very commendable.
Yes.
So she's taking what she's earned, and she's trying to help fellow prisoners. She's trying to do charity work. She's got some good businesses going. I think that's commendable for anybody, no matter how the struggle, the journey she took to get there. And that's kind of like the message my husband told kids in school. It's not what you have in this life. It's what you do with what you have in this life. So once you get to where you're going, once you have the iPhones, once you have the laptops, the fancy cars, it's like, don't just stay at that point. What can you do to give back? And that's a good example. Like,
and the giving back is it takes you out of your own self. You take that, and that's and people. I don't think people understand that, because they're so consumed with, oh my God, the day to day and the running around and the tending to their own emotional needs or their own necessities for life. And once you become focused on something, a purpose greater than yourself, So I'm curious for you now with Sal and the Ray Feo and work. You as in your work, like how do you? Because you're obviously you're integrated in the practice for him, not hugely so, because that's the nice thing about your life right now. You get to kind of pump the brakes, or you get to put the accelerator on what you want, and you get to that point in your life where, and that's the thing that's very commendable about what you too. You really do choose where you go, because I'm sure you're getting pulled in many different directions.
Yes. I feel like Taffy right now.
Gumby.
You just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. That's all you can do.
But there's a mindset in that okay, I have to be discriminating about where I spend my time. What is that mindset for you?
Priorities. You make priorities. What's your priority in life? So wherever you're sitting, like for myself, my children are my priority. So I have to make sure everything their needs and is taken care of in a timely fashion. But before, like for today, I had a meeting this morning before coming here. I had to deal with my daughter. And she's off for school, and she wants some certain things done today. And I said, okay, mommy has to do this. If you want that done, you have to come with me. And then after a nice interview here, I'm going to take her for her special treat or wherever she wants to go. That's just a small example. Of course, there's bigger things in life that you have to deal with, and you just keep moving the blocks and pieces, so to speak. You have to be bendable.
I would say, hey, he's watching. Hey, Sal. Look
Is he watching
look at
now?
that
Hi,
pole.
babe. Or is it this camera?
That's pretty
I don't
quick.
know. I'm used to the studios with the little red lights going on.
Oh,
Different
right.
cameras.
We need to get Jennifer some red lights. Jennifer's in the house. We need to up our game here. So you guys are headed out of town here in the next few days. Okay. For work with him.
Yes, for his work.
Okay.
Which gets to be a vacation for me and Sophia before school.
So what kind of fun are you guys having then? Well, during the summer. I mean, obviously the campaign. You guys did your fundraising. And so fundraising right now is not in full swing anymore.
No, we did all of our fundraising already for Raphael's scholarship. He still holds the crown through October before he passes it off to the next king, which everybody knows who the next king is. But really how this works, after Fiesta's over, the next king starts his fundraising campaign.
Okay.
And then in October, he gets to wear his crown and he takes over completely, and then we're off the hook. I should say my husband's off the hook. He's now a former king.
Which means you're off the hook then.
I'm always
you feel like
I'm on the board, so
yeah, you've run this
I'm
race
always
many
involved
times.
with Raphael's scholarship for many years.
What do you think is the most profound thing that you kind of extrapolate from the kids that you guys work with?
They all want to start off, and it's difficult because of the monetary needs out there for most kids. College these days is so expensive. It's hard to manage even for my children. Most people wouldn't even think that. They'd be like, oh, not for you. It's easy. But no, it's hard for a lot of families, even families that have good jobs to raise especially have more than one child. And then living accommodations and books and everything that goes on with college. So they all want an education, but they can't afford it. So this is just one vehicle, one way to help alleviate those issues, because there's many scholarships you can go out there. I mean, we follow, like now we're starting to follow the kids and say, hey, we're there for you every year. So they receive scholarships per semester, and then as long as their GPA is held up, we give it to them every year after that.
Every year. So okay. So the average scholarship you guys give is how much?
It's $2,000 a year, so $1,000 for semester one, and I know that's not a lot.
No, it absolutely is. I mean,
you add it up.
I know when I was in college, my dad has a PhD from Lehigh, an Ivy League school. My dad was a Mexican at an Ivy League school, and he rode his bike. He rode his bicycle around, and you can imagine what's happening at Lehigh. You know, everyone's driving their Mercedes and their BMWs.
And mind you, we give 200 of these.
Yes.
So
my point is that yes, 200. Okay, so 200 at 2,000 a piece for the life of four years.
This year we gave over $400,000 in scholarships. And we just handed those
Over
out.
almost $500,000.
We just handed those out last week.
My point is, with $2,000, some people can't attend school just because of transportation, solely because they don't have a way to get there. So $2,000, absolutely. I mean, my first vehicle was probably around that much. And I know people, again, there are people out there that are taking public transportation to get to their course, to do their coursework or to attend. So yeah, $2,000 recurring, almost $500,000 a year, and that's what you rate.
When you're living on a budget, $50 is a lot. My daughter's in college in Denver and she's working. Like we really, you're going to school, you got to work, and she's paying her own bills and everything, and it's tough. She's like, oh, $50, I have to pay $50 for this bill, and I'm like, welcome to adulthood.
Right? The bank of mom and dad is no more. Right. So your kids you've got kind of the spectrum, 20 something, and Sophia's 8. Soon to be 8. She's
She'll be
informed
8
me
next
she's
week.
almost 8. Oh, next
Yes.
week. Okay. So you're kind of, pulled in many different directions with that.
Yes.
So you get up. How do you start? How do you start the day to go effectively manage everything that you got going on as an extreme woman?
With a good cup of coffee. Cappuccino, right, Sophia? I think my house.
Oh, she
my
says she's
house
Wonder Woman.
knows, or like, has mom had her cappuccino? Don't talk to her before the cappuccino.
Right. So you work out.
I do work out. So I used to drive myself crazy with working out. I used to work out like an hour, hour and a half, get in that cardio, half marathons, spinning or whatever. And then I finally realized, I'm killing myself. So now I just do like 5 to 10 minutes of cardio, and I'll do core work. Like I love yoga, but I'll do a 30-minute yoga on push-ups.
How many days a week?
And planks. 5 days a week. I try to manage 5 days a week. And I like to enjoy myself. Like I don't go crazy with the diets. So I have a little bit of everything. And I'm not a big sugar eater, but I do like wine. So I consider that my
Guilty pleasure.
dessert. Yeah, I was like, because my husband likes dessert, and he used to make me eat with him like a little bit, and I started to notice the weight gain, a little bit here and there, and I was like,
Pinch more than an
all right,
inch."
babe. I'm like, you're the dessert lover. Leave me alone. Is he chiming in?
He chimed in earlier about talking about it's good to be king, and we've got Sal and Phil. Go on. Hey, Sal. Sorry if we missed your comments, but I hope you're still watching. Okay, so go on. The desserts.
I told him, no more desserts for me. So you're on your own. I'm having. This is my. Pretend this is mine. This is my dessert. So that's what I go out. That's my dessert. But I do enjoy all kinds of foods. I don't limit myself in many foods, but I will do push-ups, and I'll do them all. And a lot of ladies ask me this. A lot of my friends, because I've got some muscles now. And I don't know if you can see those on camera.
Can you see those guns over there?
Just a little bit. Just a little
You're
bit.
making me look bad.
And everyone's like, how did you do that? And I said, quite honestly, push-ups. And I'll do 10 at a time, and I'll do them while excuse me, my voice is going here. While I'm waiting for something, like let's say you threw something in the microwave, I'll drop and do 10. Or I'm making my cappuccino from my machine, I'll drop and do 10. And and then it adds up. That 10 becomes 20, then 30, and I think every lady or woman out there can do 10 push-ups. Start with 1 if you've never done one. Then eventually you're going to be doing 2.
There she goes.
And then there's my daughter doing push-ups. She
lead by example. Lead by example.
And then
we got a full fitness studio happening here, you guys.
And then before you know it, you're doing 3. So anybody, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then get to 10. And once you get that 10 going, then dropping and doing 10 throughout the day whenever you're waiting for something, because if you have kids, you're juggling, putting stuff in the dryer, putting stuff in the washer. And now, how many times do we sit there and we're waiting and we're going like this? Oh God, I have to wait for that to come out.
When you need somebody to grab onto. When she comes to Sal, you need somebody to grab. So you like Sal? I think Sal's saying he likes the extra.
The curve. I'm still not eating dessert.
Yeah, you always look fabulous, and you always look, like I said, you're just kind of the poster child of being controlled and calm.
Push-ups work, and anybody can tell me this out there. Push-ups engage everything. They can engage your abdominals, arms, back, legs. So it's almost like a full workout with almost not having to do anything.
There you go. So does Sal work out?
Sorry.
Sal, we're calling you out right now.
Sorry. You don't work out.
It's the beauty standard.
Doctors are the worst. Most doctors are their own worst enemies.
Right.
And he's
they prescribe it. They don't.
Yes. Yeah. He works long hours, long days. He should take a little bit of time out for himself, but he hasn't lately. Yeah. Now that this is all over, he probably can.
I'm sure if we were to put a pedometer on you guys are probably getting, clocking 20,000 steps a day.
He runs circles around me.
I'm sure.
Tell you that.
You guys are out there.
He only needs like 4 or 5 hours sleep, 4
or 5 hours?
Yeah.
The cardiologist prescribes 4 to 5 hours?
No, that's him.
Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, Sal.
He's just funny that way.
Hey, James. Hey, Keith. Again, you guys share this to enter to win tickets to the world's largest liquor, beer, and whiskey fest. Again, a party like no other. And Foodie Fest. Really, there's 50 restaurants coming?
Yes. Yeah.
50 restaurants. If you're a restaurant, like you said, if you want to be a vendor there, you have the opportunity to be exposed among the best. I mean, people at this event, $60 to $150 to get into this event. So it's a really good event as far as the people who are showing up, and all for a good cause. So again, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking to the co-owner of Gabriel's Liquor and Beer. They also have Don's and Ben's. 50 stores in the San Antonio and is it surrounding areas, Jen?
Immediate surrounding areas. Yes.
Immediate surrounding areas. What the Gabriels and Jennifer do for the Ray Feo philanthropy, which it's nearly at $10 million now. That Ray Feo has raised to send underprivileged kids to school. This event, again, it's on September 28th at the Freeman Coliseum. It's from 7 to 11. I'll be there. Yours truly will be Xtreme live, broadcasting the whole event. Last year, they had a Harley, they had a Rolex, they had amazing giveaways. So you have the opportunity again to get some of the really cool giveaways. There's live music, there's food, there's drinks, there's dancing, casinos. Yeah. Is it so? Again, that the Casino World Poker WPT, is that what if you win the poker tournament?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because the night before the Liquor Fest, there's a poker tournament.
Okay.
And that will win you a seat at the World Series. So that's a little poker, and that's if you go to Eventbrite for the Liquor Fest, you'll see that poker ticket there. Okay. It's held the day before at the Coliseum while we're setting up for the Liquor Fest, and then the finals is during the Liquor Fest. It's right in the middle of everything for that poker tournament. And so you have a possibility of winning a seat at the World Series for that. But besides that, there's casino games going on throughout the whole event. So anything and that's non-gambling. So if you take all your chips for anything like your fundraising event you go to. So your chips are traded in for little raffle tickets.
Okay.
And then your raffle tickets are thrown in a bin at the end of the night. And you may walk home with a huge flat screen TV, a bicycle, barbecue pits, coolers.
You name
if
it.
anybody's catching any of the video play from last year's event that you're running on this, then you might see some of those prizes there. So.
Last year, just on the live, on the live, we had $2,500 of giveaways. We had Botox, we had Juvederm, we had restaurant gift cards. So either tuning into the live, showing up, getting tickets. Again, the live is pales in comparison. It doesn't give justice to the monstrosity that this event is. And you have people from really around the world that come in for this, distillers and brewers. Probably some people you wouldn't get the chance to meet. Of course, Sal is going to be there, like he says, in his uniform, and you're going to get to meet Jennifer.
Yeah, because he hasn't handed over his crown yet, so I think he gets to be there.
to get it pressed one more time. Okay, so I think we've covered that. We've covered the press release for the cause. Is that what you call it? Okay. I guess wrapping up here, on the Xtreme side of things, what if Jennifer Gabriel, before she was Jennifer Gabriel Barbaro, if you could go back and tell the 15-year-old Jennifer, the 20-year-old Jennifer, what to look out for, what to do differently in life, what would those things be?
Probably what I touched on before. Don't be afraid. When you are afraid, don't be afraid to just do whatever that inner voice is telling you to do. If you're having that inner struggle, should I or shouldn't I? On a venture you want to do or something you want to get out there and you're scared to do it, just do it. Just go out there and do it, or find a way to get help to do it. Or
was there something specifically in life that you kind of endeavored to do, wanted to do, and you sat there kind of fraught with the do I or don't I?
Not really. I think I would have moved around more and traveled more.
Really?
Yes. Before I had my family.
But now you do quite a bit of traveling.
But I always have to come back.
Oh, you want to travel and never come back.
Well, I'd like to move, live here, live there. Probably would have done that more.
Okay.
A little more job hopping around before I had my kids.
Job hopping. Yeah, just the variety of life. Where do you find your zen?
On the beach, ocean, middle of the ocean, on a boat. In the water. We
are fish from the same school. Because
salt water, though.
Oh, salt water.
Yes,
I was just saying that.
I love oceans.
Really?
Yes, and I love deep sea fishing, and I love scuba diving. And
I know, men. I know, Sal. All these men are wanting to love your wife.
Weird
love your wife.
Nerds that when I'm in the ocean and I'm with fish, or I'm down 30 feet, 60 feet, scuba diving.
Oh, you scuba dive?
Yes.
I didn't hear that part.
I get excited.
Yes.
I remember one time I had a shark right under my feet. And as I was actually down 100 feet. And
You are
everybody,
at 100
everybody was
feet.
at 60, and I went down 100, and I looked down, and there's a shark right under my feet, and I was like, I was so excited. I was like,
Excited?
Everybody, look.
Yeah, we.
And nobody was paying attention to me, and then I get back up to the top, and I realized you probably could have eaten me, and nobody
And nobody would have noticed.
I
Nobody would
just
have
been
noticed.
Gone into the abyss.
I have a similar story. I was getting certified. We were in Cancun, Cozumel, and my diver was taking us down and showing us some kind of like rock formations. I had my little cheesy underwater camera, right, and there was some fish, and I could see the head, and the head was about this big, and I'm like telling the people that we were with, take a picture, and I'm getting flagged like 5-alarm fire, 911, get out, and thankfully I did, because as soon as I did, this monstrous eel came out. So I didn't realize though that you could go 100 feet.
Yeah, you have to.
So you're
of
certified
course, know your dive schedules and how to come back up gradually, but oh yeah, you can do 100 feet easy.
But that's a different certification for 100 feet.
Yeah, well, it's the same one. You just
Is
gotta
it?
know your tables.
Yeah, I don't know that we were at 100 feet, but I'm gonna probably interview, Kimberly Finder from the liposurgery place.
No, I don't know her personally.
Okay, she's one of the major liposuction. They're big divers too, and it is like until you get down under the water.
I'm gonna have to get to know Kimberly, because I can't find a lot of girls that like to dive.
Yeah, they go all over. They're really, really cool. Actually, they did some of the giveaways. Kimberly Finder at the Face and Body Place, they gave the Juvederm package away last year at the Rayfeo event. But he's really neat. He's a sharp, I think like sniper or something from the military, and they have the practice. And they're either rappelling out of helicopters and skiing, or they're at like the depths of the ocean.
So that's on my bucket list too. So I want to jump out of a plane. My husband thinks I'm crazy, even though he was a flight surgeon in the Air Force. I want to jump out with parachute. It's like, that's next. I'm scheduling that in a couple of weeks. Okay?
Where at?
I don't know. I'm going to Google it.
We need to go live for this.
Yeah, do you want to? Because I'm really going to do this.
Yes, for
He
sure.
thinks
You
I'm
can capture
nuts.
it.
I was actually supposed to do it before I had before my last daughter, and then I found out I was pregnant, so I didn't get to do that. I'm not getting any younger, so
So you're gonna do it.
I'm going to go do it. And that's
Good for you.
another thing, to go out
That's a
there,
fear.
ladies, go out there and do what you want to do in life. What are you waiting for? So
will you tandem with
of course.
Okay, yes.
Yes, I'm not going to trust myself to pull the string. And
Right.
it'll have to be tandem, because I've never done it before.
I always wonder why they don't put parachutes on planes, right? With all these plane crashes, like if you lose a parachute, right? When did it solve all the? I mean, you're getting ready to hop a
That's
flight.
Maybe that's in the works. Or
Maybe,
something.
maybe some of us are deliberate. Okay, so any books for our viewers that you couldn't live without, or you would suggest that people, it's a must read?
Well, okay, so there's always one that stands out, and I'm one of those people that forgets titles and stuff like that, but this is one that I've loved for many, many years, and I actually keep about 5 copies or so in my house, and I'll give them out to people when it comes up in conversation. It's called Raising Cole. And it's a small little book about a UT student that passed away, a football player, and his father's relationship with him. So the book is in, the father's story.
Okay.
He tells the story about his relationship with his son. But it's not just a father-son book. It's a parenting book. And it's also a love story. More than anything, it's a love story.
Between the father and son.
This book, as many people's, I've given it to CEOs. I've given it, and they've been on the plane. Men on the planes and called me, Jennifer. I was crying. I was crying on the plane. This is a full-grown man that runs a company.
Not tears, it's allergies.
It's one of those tear jerkers that gets you emotionally right as you start to read it, and you can't put it down. This is one of those books you can't put down. And it's also one that I still like to live by, this man's story. And I always say it should be a movie. It's like, how do I contact Oprah Winfrey or some studio? Because this book needs to be a movie.
I'm surprised it's not.
I'm surprised it's not either. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten to where it needs to go.
Well, there you go. You got TV connections.
Not that high up. I don't know. If anyone's out there, you have connections, this would be a great movie, but it's seen it right here first.
Right, based on her recommendation. You can reach Jennifer at Gabriel's. You can
Just
find them on Google.
invite me to the premiere.
Right, give me a little bit of a kickback.
And I've lived by the philosophies that father has had for his son. I've lived with that for my own kids, and my kids are now 20 and 22, my older children. And I have a wonderful relationship with them, and they tell me things, that I don't necessarily want to hear. But sometimes you have to be a good parent and listen to those things as well, because you can't help your kids just through the good stuff.
Yeah, and I think there's, on that culture topic that we're, touching on, that now if you don't talk to your kids about those things, they're going to find out.
They're going to find out from somewhere else, someone else.
Google
it may not be
it.
the way you want them to find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So start that dialogue. I marvel. Some people, we were just having the conversation. For some people, parenting is a science. Other people, it's just a knack. It shouldn't be rocket science to know how to parent very, very well. It's just using a little bit of common sense, knowing that
and there's no manual for it.
Exactly.
And we're all different. Like, you'd be different, I'm different. Every person's different as far as parenting styles, and it's all from the way we grew up. Our parents taught us.
Right.
And hopefully we can model them and model it better as each year goes on, or each generation. Hopefully it gets better and better.
Yeah, I got Roman a guinea pig, and they sent us home with a manual. I'm like, where was the manual when she was born, right?
Even when our babies are born, or my kids are born, the hospital didn't give me an instruction manual.
Right.
It's like, what do I do with this baby?
You just figure it out.
Here, go home.
Yeah, figure it out. So, okay, wonderful. Well, I think that kind of, that talks about everything, Ray Feo, everything, the amazing person that you are. A mega community leader, mega presence.
I'm
in San
honored.
Antonio.
That's a big title. I'm honored for that.
No, that's that humility, that I was talking about for people. That's exactly that humility that you find. When people become very successful, it's always the people who have the mindset. Well, there's nothing more I need to learn. There's nothing more I need to know. I've figured it out in life. I'm good.
No, there's always something you need to learn. I never pretend to know it all. I learn something every day. You even learn something from your own kids. So there's always something to learn.
Awesome. Well, folks, again, share the video to enter to win tickets to the Ray Feo, September 28th, Freeman Coliseum. We're going to be live down there broadcasting, fun stuff happening. Get to meet Jennifer, meet the king. Sal will be there decorated. Jennifer will be there looking as gorgeous as she always does. Ladies, do your eyelashes. Men, get your cowboy boots out. It's a really, really, really good time. Again, if you're a restaurant or if you're a bar, if you want to be a vendor, you can go to Gabriel's Liquor. Tickets are on the link that we put on the stream. You can go to LBWFSA, and again, they're $60 right now. For on the extreme side of things, if you're looking for those time management, tips and tricks and secrets for how very extreme professional married parents, what they do to kind of actualize that and maximize that kind of potential that you're looking for how you're going to grow in life, how you're going to scale yourself, how you're going to expand your business, how you're going to do how you push forward on all those initiatives, from being a parent to being a wife or a husband to being a business owner to being an entrepreneur, how the blend of all those things. Stay tuned for more episodes on Extreme, because that's what we do here, is we're talking to the kick-ass people out there. We should probably have this thing edited about what it is that makes them amazing individuals, and we will perpetually tell that story. So for more information, you can go to Extreme. Again, share, thanks for the love and support. Share this video, and then you'll see upcoming updates about the Liquor, Beer, Wine, Whiskey, and Foodie Fest on September 28th at the Freeman Coliseum.
Foodie Fest.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show, and thanks for tuning in. We will see you on a next upcoming episode.